Hello, Reckoning7 and welcome back to Combat Mission Battle for Normandy. And today we're going to be kicking off a new scenario and we're taking a look at Barkmann's Corner. We're going to be playing as the Germans. Now this scenario is based on an incident that obviously occurred in Normandy in 1944 with Ernst Barkmann, who was a SS tank commander, and he reputedly single-handedly repelled an Allied armoured column and destroyed 9 Sherman tanks in the process, for which he was awarded a Knight's Cross. And that's what we are going to be attempting to do today. So as well as Barkmann himself in his Panther, we also have a company's worth of infantry, and we have to defend Barkmann's Corner and Favre's community from this Allied armoured assault. So we have broken, or I have broken my defence into essentially 3 sections. We've got the elements here on the right, which includes Barkmann himself, who is in a reasonable little kind of keyhole position, staying up this road. This is actually the default position he starts in, and I kind of wanted to keep him there, to keep the general feeling of Barkmann's Corner, although acknowledging we may have to move him around as the scenario develops. In addition to this, we have 1 platoon worth of infantry supporting him in a fairly advanced position, as well as some heavy machine guns sitting kind of in line with Barkmann. Now we are aided here by essentially a number of hills, so you can see we're leading up to top of the hill here, and so we're going to be able to engage with the Americans as they come over the top. And really our intent here is going to be keep the engagement lines pretty short, so that any tanks that don't come the way of Barkmann, or heaven forbid he gets taken out, our Panzerjäger teams can engage at short ranges and hopefully knock the tanks out themselves. So to aid this, we're going to set up a couple of scouts in the second story of these buildings with non-engage command, or engage at short ranges I should say, and then we're going to have some Panzerjäger who are going to be essentially kind of hiding, just kind of hidden from where we think the Americans are going to push. Intent being that if we see tanks getting closer, we can then move them into kind of flanking positions. We've got 1 heavy machine gun who is got good sight lines up this road just to support Barkmann himself, and then we have another heavy machine gun based on this right hand flank to support any kind of push through these fields, as well as theoretically into these woodlands, which I'm a little nervous around kind of infantry coming in. So the general thrust of it is going to use the infantry as a screen, essentially, to 1, get scouting information, but 2, trip up any American infantry on their way, and then use them to protect the Panzerjägers and hopefully Barkmann, and allow them to kind of deal with the American armour. I don't know the exact makeup of the American forces, obviously assuming they're going to have a healthy number of tanks, but I don't know how much infantry is going to support them. So that's a kind of main defence. The other couple of things, or rather 2 areas I need to be worried about, I suppose it's technically 3, are the alternative routes the American armour can take. So if they break off from this road, obviously they can push down through this gap here. They can also enter this field and come down towards Favre's community over this hill, or they can go all the way around this left hand side of the map. So the second part of my defence is going to be this little centre piece here. So it's quite nice because there is no, that I'm aware of, gaps in this bocage that's going to allow infantry to come through. And so the idea is I'm going to rush some troops into both of these little squares, and then we can use that position to attack any Americans, ideally kind of flanking them if they try and push through this gap, maybe to less an extent if they try and come around here, but we shall see. In that order, I've got 2 squads of infantry who are going to push up into this further one. I'm going to break 1 out as a scout, and the other ones are just going to kind of chill in the wheat. And then we have the company commander, the platoon commander, the other squad infantry, and the 2 Panzerjäger teams are going to chill out in this little N shape here. And again, we're going to pop out maybe a scout to see what's going on, and everyone else is going to be held back from the cache so we don't get spotted and engaged, and then just push up to it if we're needed. And then further on the left we have 1 more platoon who are essentially there to defend Favre's community from any thrusts through this wheat field, or heaven forbid down this far left hand flank, which will require a bit of a reshuffle on our side. Now this field is actually fantastically well defended from this hill, so we are just adopting a reverse slope behind this stone wall, and that'd be anything that pops over the top, we can give it a good thrashing. Or whatever the German equivalent is. We do have a little bit of a risk that obviously if they push in force through this wheat field, then our two squads in here are going to have a pretty bad time of it. That's essentially a risk I'm willing to accept. And that's kind of it. So we're going to take a bit of a forward defensive line, throw out a screen and some scouts, and then ideally see what we can do to counter the Americans. Now I'm envisaging that it's going to be fairly eventful fairly quickly. It's not a big map. There's not a lot of time on the clock, half an hour. We have no reinforcements. So I'm expecting the Americans, in the first case, are just going to trundle down this road and then may change what they're doing after an engagement. So maybe without any further ado, we'll just kick things off. I think 5 minutes is the quickest I've ever done an intro to a new scenario. But let's get things going. And let's see what we can spot. We have got Barkmann sitting out top of his tank to improve his visibility. And I really hope he doesn't get taken out by a rare rifle shot. And I doubt he'll stay exposed for too much longer, but we'll see how it goes. Got my scouts moving into position. First sound contacts. This could all be over very quickly if he fluffs his shot and gets taken out. But we shall see. Come on, Shermans. Seem to be fairly slowly making their way up the road. Oh, nothing the first instant. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sound contacts. So it looks like at least one tank is breaking off to come down this way, and at least one is breaking off to come over this way. That's fine. I have no issues with that. You guys are essentially in position. Let me go to command phase. I'm going to move you slightly further up. I would like you to break off a scout, I think. Scout team. And just get yourself nestled in there, just so we can see what's going on, but please don't shoot at anyone. And you guys, yeah, I'm going to put one action square over just so you don't actually get taken out by anything. Meanwhile, you're moving in position. Okay, so we think he's going to come down through these wheat fields. Again, these guys could be in a bit of a bad situation. They may just have to lay down and hide and hope that the Sherman passes over their heads and engages the troops behind. Which doesn't sound like an ideal, an ideal defensive strategy. Meanwhile, I'm happy enough over here. Again, these guys actually have got a hide order in the woods. Double check, make sure it's true. Just so they can keep their heads down. Again, I don't want the being engaged by tanks, so just there's a screen for the enemy infantry. Okay, Barkmann. Let's see if you can earn your stripes. First contact. Second contact. They are coming down. Ooh, interesting. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. You are in a bit of a precarious position, my friend. I'm going to have to tweak that. You're supposed to be hiding behind this house. Just check. We may need to pull these guys back as well. Just worried that a tank is going to engage them before Barkmann can see. Although, again, if a tank opens up on these guys, hopefully that should improve visibility of our Panther and allow them to engage a bit quicker. I didn't even check what kind of tank it's on. I'm just assuming they're Shermans from description. Yeah. Okay. Now our scouts unfortunately may take a pop at their commander when he comes closer, which may lead to their rapid and early demise. Hang on. Oh, bad things have happened over here. Okay. It looks like you've just, yeah, unfortunately there's been a sightline from the road. And there go 4 pixel trooping. Ouch! Well, that's not the first blood we were after, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, tanks come on. Quite aggressive. I think I might pull out my infantry from this building as well. Because yeah, otherwise they're just going to get themselves chewed up. Like so. Right, but here's a tank merrily coming down the road. This is your time to shine, Barkmann. Go on. Yeah! He's still coming though. Nice. 2 shots, 2 penetrations. That makes me feel a little bit better. But most of the forces seem to have deviated from this main road and are coming down in this direction. Hmm. Now they could still swing back on, so maybe I'll not change anything just yet. You, my friends, probably should have done that 1 minute sooner. You get in here and you need to pull back slightly. Because you're slightly exposed. Okay, this is fine. The question is, what kind of ranges are we at here? 100 meters. It's not quite close enough, but they might, if they're going to come through this gap, they're going to have to get closer. So let's get you guys ready. Question is, I mean, the problem I have here is they could probably spin through here in a minute. But then I suppose if they advance much further, they'll get spotted anyway. So maybe it's not the end of the world. Okay, we'll hold off and then maybe next minute we can push in. They do seem to be concentrated very much on this side of things. You chaps are now getting into position, that's fine. You're going to be a little bit upset with life. I'm afraid that's just the way it's going to be. Alright, let's keep going. Oh, 3rd shot just for funsies. Well done, Barkmann. Let's see where these guys go. That's a lot of... Don't waste all your ammo, please. Presumably these guys are going to bail out. There we go. Good. How is your 80 ammo, actually? Lots of it. Good stuff. Okay, machine guns. Barkmann all getting in the action. You... Looks like you just ran away. Ah, it's annoying to lose a squad so early. I should maybe not have put them in there. Right. Looks like it's going to be round 2. That's not a good view though. Come on, Barkmann. Nice. He's a little bit hidden behind his friend. Looks like that's another hit, another kill though. So I will take this. Things have not all gone our way, but this is a pretty good start. So we did swing back onto the main road, and I've just driven in front of our tank there. Now, yeah, these guys do have Panzerfaust and things, which aren't the greatest. It's nice that they just pick off the surviving crew. That was a good hit actually from Barkmann on this middle tank there. I think otherwise they could have, you know, 1 HE shell, and that's a pretty big mess those guys get into. Right, what happened to my poor squad who's supposed to be holding this corner? So they got told to leave the building, and I think they just panic and run. Yeah. Which is... this bit's okay, and then for whatever reason we decide, let's run entirely through the open. Let's keep running through the open. Poor fools. Okay. So, 3 tanks to me, 1 squad to him. We'll take that for just now. Go into command phase, and again it's all that decision of when do I want to try and unleash these. I mean, 75 meters is not, that's not bad as a target range. I think we're gonna do it. They will likely pay with their lives. In fact, maybe I just want to send 1 up. Let's do that. I'm again worried that just 1 HE will take them both out, which may still do even as they're here, but let's move my scout down to there so we spread out a little bit. Okay. In fact, no, let's keep them there so you can tell my Panzer team, by the way, that's a tank, please shoot at it. Because we all know how much units in CM love to miss things. Okay. Well, let's maybe, well, we can kick off the action here. I think we should get another round in there. Oh, now I'm regretting not pushing them both forward. Turn around so the tree's not in our way. There you go, lads, come on. Actually, go for this guy. Oh! That is a great shot on the move. What, you just regulars. I mean, my Panzerjägers usually miss like anything, but fleeting away. Gets the shot off. Penetration, rear top of the hull. That's excellent. That should hopefully be a nice little damage just in time for Barkmann to finish him off. Here he comes. Oh, Panzerfaust as well. And another one. Oh, we finally see a casualty in this team. That's unfortunate. There's a lot of shells going into that Sherman. Okay, they seem pretty determined to push down the road here. What happened to our brave unit here? I'm not sure actually. Oh, just the machine gun from front of the Sherman took him out. Okay, we've still got our Panzerjäger team hiding in here, and there is one last American tank in this first section. Okay. Which has just come through here. So you guys, please... Oh, let's go to command phase. Why can't I his face? Really odd. I'm not sure, but I really would like you facing this way. Okay, unfortunate. We've still got you guys in there just keeping an eye on what's going on. Still have these sound contacts, they've never resolved themselves into anything. Could have just been the tanks that were spreading out the road. They may not resolve into anything. Barkmann's still doing well, still plenty of ammo. You have one more friend to take care of. Now you guys are out of anti-tank. What I may do, now that we have drastically reduced the Americans incoming, I'm going to move these guys Panzers over just in case things go awry with Barkmann. I want to knock that tank out. Things did not go awry with Barkmann. We heads down, lads. Three solid hits. 4 solid hits. I wonder if anyone's going to get out. Oh, heads down, boys. Excellent. I find this smoke slightly unnerving. At the same time, we do have scouts along this side who hasn't seen anyone else coming down this ridgeway. So I'm not too concerned about it just yet. Grand. Right, so we've got no more contacts. So what I'm probably going to do in here is I'm going to stick in a quick cut as we jump forward a few minutes. I'm probably not going to make any changes just until I hear what's going on. Although potentially, given this road is completely blocked, we may want to move Barkmann up into a different position, but honestly, things are going pretty well, so there's always a question of why change it. But right now I'm going to I'll jump away. I'm going to move forward a minute or maybe 2 just until we get some other information as to where the Americans are. Of course, if anything happens, I'll bring you guys straight back. Alright, 2 minutes further down the road, it looks like the next squad of American tanks is on the way. Or troop, or I'm not sure what the Americans call them actually. And interesting, I'll be curious to see where they go. Again, we've still got our Panzerjägers on this side with plenty of ammunition should we try and push this gap. And obviously we've got Barkmann in his little kill zone, although any tanker heading towards that burning massive metal would presumably think twice before trying to drive through that gap. One minor tweak I'm going to make is I'm going to move our Panzerjäger team just into behind this building, with the idea that if the tanks do try and come and squeeze through here, we might be able to just knock them in the side, which would be pretty advantageous. I did think about trying to reposition Barkmann round to cover this area a little bit better, but to be honest, as long as we've still got these 2 teams here, I think we've got reasonable cover, and you know, in taking care of them, we should get enough time to reposition Barkmann if required. It all depends which gap they go for. We should get some scouts as they kind of come over the top of this ridge. Some scouting information even. Oh, and a 5th one. I don't like how far they've gone in this action square. It seems a bit ridiculous, to be honest. At least it's only the infantryman, and if he dies it's... well, it's sad, but it's not the end of the world. Okay. Firm spot on one of the tanks. Right, let's just... I was about to say just roll into the next minute. You're still set at 75 meters, that's okay. I've kept you in reserve. So, yeah, let's just roll. See what befalls this chap. Hopefully, Panzerjäger screaming in from the side. Ooh, Good turret hit. Not enough to have knocked it out. I know we're barely into the minute, but... The old unit lock. I don't know at which point. So he does register the guys are there. Which is actually pretty good scouting. Unleashes a 50 cal. Loses contact. Has taken a casualty. Surprised he hasn't opened up again, to be perfectly honest. No, and they bail out. Excellent. Nice, good job, Panzerjäger teams. These little choke points are quite fun to play with. Now, we won't get the same annihilation of a tank crews, unfortunately, but that's a price I'm willing to pay. So it looks like my HMG team has spotted this Sherman. And Barkmann, actually. This could be quite a tricky shot. Yes, it is. We're fighting each other through this keyhole. Not sure he has spotted me yet, though. And we've got another Sherman heading into our trap. So that looks like it's still aimed at the first one. Unfortunately. Yes, it is. Oh, Barkmann's on target. Okay, so, and in the tail end there we took out one of the officers. Actually, yeah, we did. One dead officer for poking his head out. So what? Actually, let's give Barkmann his dues for a fairly phenomenal shot here. Oh! Under pretty heavy, or pretty close fire there. I'm going the wrong way. Let's see how close that shot was. That's his first miss. Shermans get a return. That's it. Oh my goodness. Hit there and then deflected off. That is pretty close to a headless Barkmann. And then he gets his return. And that's all she wrote. Okay. Let's go command phase. Let's bring our Panzerjägers up in support. See if we can knock out a few more of these, and I'm tempted to maybe even throw my infantry in here. It's a little bit, tell you what, we'll throw half a squad in. Two reasons. One, help mop up some of the crew, but also just, again, provide a bit more of a distraction for the Shermans. A little cautious with this guy, but you know, if we can provide a bit of distraction, even if it costs us a few pixel trooping, while our Panzerjägers do their work, then that'll be worth it. So far, I'm managing to avoid. Oh my goodness, there's another hit. This team has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm not sure you've missed yet, which is definitely not the usual story of Combat Mission. Nice. Ignite something inside, guys bail. Beautiful. So there's 2 tanks left standing, one of which without a commander. Here he comes. infantry getting the work done on the crew. Now hopefully he's about to befall the same fate as his colleagues. I say hopefully. You guys can see that, yeah? Yeah. You guys can see that? Yeah. Someone take a shot? Come on, he's perfect position. See ya. Oh. Just a flesh window. But that's we're gonna have to pull out of this position for just now. But that's okay. So let's step back with our 2 Panzerjäger squads. Just because I don't want to unnecessarily lose you to that Sherman. Mop up the crew, and hopefully get our heads down before this guy responds. I mean, it's kind of your move, America. Okay. Okay, again, I'm going to potentially put a bit of a cut in here, because if he starts moving again, obviously I'll bring you guys straight back, but if he's just going to sit there, then we may end up playing a waiting game for a little bit. So I'll bring back if something happens. Okay, we only got, there you go, 15 seconds in, and he's just started rolling forward again. So I thought I'd bring you back before anything happens. Now, of course, our 2 Panzerjäger teams have pulled back from this hedgerow, so if he gunned it, he could potentially make it through. I don't think that's going to help him. We've still got 1 Panzerjäger team here, and once he gets far enough on, obviously these guys will have a view into his rear as well. We are getting another sound contact from more tanks. They might have seen our scouts. And he's like, maybe, nah, it's fine. So it's 3 more tanks on the way. Don't like how he's just, his barrel's staring up here. He's like, I see you. I know you're here. And I mean, I'm tempted to leave these guys where they are, because they're going to get a view of him if he rolls forward anymore. Do I want to push him with these guys? Potentially not, actually. Oh, hang on. I mean, okay. I think either way he's about to take a hit from a Panzerjäger team. And then we just have to concern ourselves with yet another platoon. 4 more chunks of meat for the grinder. I think we just roll. I think he's going to take a round from somewhere as he advances. I hope. Oh, Barkmann. Barkmann is going to take a round from. Okay, good stuff. And here's the infantry coming now. So he's already been taken out, and the guy's like, oh wait, now I'll fire my Panzerjäger off, or Panzerschreck off even. Okay, so we've got half track. Hang on. What happened here? The Barkmann. Oh, dude, you just killed. Oh, injured 2 of your own men. Okay, and now they're going on the way. Excellent. So we've got one tank. We've seen... was that I think it was a... sorry, I'm trying to see if it was a jeep or a... not half-track, a truck or a half-track. Okay, it's another half-track, so two more half-tracks. Two half-tracks, should say. Potentially a third. Should make sense. And one more tank. Lurking. Good. I'm going the wrong way. Whoa, 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 whoa. I went too far. Oh, I just gave myself a spoiler. Okay, this half-track's careering down the road and getting taken out by the MG. Okay. Now I'm worried they're going to have to deposit a whole bunch of infantrymen here, which would be slightly unpleasant. In order to help alleviate that, I'm going to move another squad up here. And let's put you guys back into the picture. If we can get a nice hit in before they dismount, could do a lot of work. Failing that, we do have a whole squad here. We can move in for small arms. Our problem might be if that tank sits where he is. Obviously, he can fairly indiscriminately lay waste to this bocage while their infantry get out. Two arms. I realize we have gone quite long here, but I can't help but feel we're not far off the end. If that half-track's now running away, because even just MG42 is opening up and this thing's going to cause injuries. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, them attracting the wrong kind of attention. A few infantry casualties here and there. This is nice. Now, where are you going to go? Oh, first miss from our Panther. Really good team. Heroes thus far. And I'll look at that in just a moment. These half-tracks are just driving forward and backward. Have you got any more ammo left? One more shot. And unfortunately, yeah, Nosy McNosy face over here, sticking his head out the edge of a building. And that ended exactly the way one might expect it to. Oh. Okay, but generally we're doing okay here. Haven't really taken much in the way of casualties. This is good. So we've got one tank left, 4 half-tracks, some whole bunch of infantry, but they've taken a bunch of casualties just driving around in front of the machine guns here. Do I want to try and... move anyone else forward? No is really the answer. I don't want to expose you guys along the side. No, I think we're going to play a cautious game here. This is pretty poor AI behavior. Oh, Scout's getting chewed upon a little bit. Oh, nice. Team back to their reliable form. I believe that was the last of the enemy tanks. So we've got 4 half-tracks and an ever-decreasing amount of infantry. 3 half-tracks and an ever-decreasing amount of infantry. feel like surrender is not that far away. Let's move you guys up into position, so you can help out with the general carnage. I'm tempted to maybe move Barkmann up, but there might be a few more people here and there. Tell you what, let's move our HQ unit here into the second story, so we can get a bit more scouting info. I suspect this half-track's going to drive himself into trouble fairly soon. Here it comes. Oh, surprisingly seems to have made it all the way through. He's just going to get chewed up by small arms fire and grenades and our troops here in the woods. And that's them all dead. Uh-oh. Oh, this is nowhere near as over as I thought it was. Oh boy. Don't hide behind your friend, that'll make life difficult. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, not to this guy. Phenomenal. Are you guys sharing ammo now? Yeah, you are. Perfect. I don't know how many kills he'll get credit for, but he has landed a lot of shots with his Bandershrike. And that is not an easy shot he took there. Perfect. Okay, given that we've just had the bombshell of a lot more American tanks on the way, and we're sitting over 4 minutes, I'm going to end things here. So I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm really pleased with this position. I think this has really helped our rebuild. Now, yes, the AI did drive a whole bunch of forces in front of Barkmann, and he's really had a bit of a field day. But we've also managed to kind of pick away with these guys, and you know, any threats to this flank have kind of disappeared. If we can deal with these tanks, we're sorting. But that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But we'll see how we go on. But that's going to wait till next time. So if you enjoyed it, as ever, do leave your thoughts, comments, etc. down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheerio.